Shifting now to the Golden State Warriors, and man, oh man, Houston's really cooked, guys. I hate to say it, not really. The Golden State Warriors won 104-93 over Houston. My Warriors did. And Steph Curry was incredible. Shocker. No Jimmy Butler, no problem. We can go and pull up Steph's numbers. How's 36, 9, and 7 for you on 12 of 23 from the field, 5 for 13 from 3, and he knocked down 7 of his 8 shots from the charity stripe. So this series has been so interesting to me. So Jimmy missed game 3. I was kind of 50-50 on whether he played. I thought he maybe try and give it a go, but Steve Kerr, the Warriors, Shams Charania literally reported before the game, kind of concerned me a little bit. He said that Jimmy Butler literally cannot move well enough to play. So we'll see if he goes tonight. Anthony Slater of The Athletic seems to be implying that Jimmy will play tonight. So let's go. Thank goodness. Hopefully Jimmy is... The risk of re-injury is not there, or at least is not at a high percentage for Jimmy to play tonight. So we'll see. And I think the Warriors will take game 4. But for game 3, this was, early on in this game, I'm like, man, this is, no Jimmy, this is starting to look kind of rough. Steph starts 1 of 5. He's got 2 points. We can't buy a shot. Kuminga is just, the second Jimmy Butler comes back, Kuminga's back getting DMP coach's decision on his box score. He's such an athletic freak. He's incredible. But gosh, I swear, it's sometimes I'm like, does this kid know how to play? Does this kid know how to play basketball? And listen, your IQ's got to be off the charts to play in that Steve Kerr system. It just does. That's why veterans, by and large, work really well. And why, listen, young guys like Pajemski have worked, but, like Moses Moody as well, high IQ guys. But it's mostly kind of a veteran-style offense for the Stephs and the Draymonds and the Jimmys of the world. But early on this game, I'm thinking, man, this isn't looking so good. We've only got 18 at the first quarter, and now Houston's up 13 mid-second. I'm like, oh boy, this might be kind of a do or die game 4. We need Jimmy to come back by then. And then, old Chef, he gets it going. It doesn't matter if he's double teamed. Doesn't matter what kind of defense he's faced. Doesn't matter if Dylan Brooks is almost knocking him out on 3-point shots. I swear, if Steph got Embiid's whistle, the guy would average 40 a game. It's unbelievable. But floaters, finishing packages, the crossover threes, like all of it from mid-second quarter on, this guy put on a show. And by the way, it isn't like Steph didn't get help, because I said role players gonna have to step up. And the 2 rules we know about the playoffs we've seen in this series: number 1, they let you play physical, more physical certainly than the regular season. And number 2, role players are always better at home than on the road. Houston's role players, what did you get from Tari Eason? 3 of 9. Steven Adams, 6 rebounds. Okay, fine, but nothing special. And then you look at the Warriors role players. Buddy Hield was excellent. And listen, Buddy's got a very mixed reputation within Warriors, within Dub Nation fan circles. Because he is a streaky shooter, and when he starts shooting and keeps missing, he doesn't stop shooting, and Steve Kerr's take him off the floor. He's not that good a defender, and I might be a better ball handler than Buddy Hield, and I can't handle the ball for you know what. So like that's you kind of just get a lot from Buddy, but when he's got it going from 3 like he did in this game, he shot 5 for 11. Huge. He hit some big shots second half. Okay. Quentin Post gave you 11 boards in the starting lineup. Wasn't the stretch 5 threat that you needed him to be. I could see him stepping up in game 4, but rebounded the basketball against Alperen Şengün. He was great. Also, you got to give mad love. Gary Payton in the fourth quarter, I think he had like 14 points or something, 12, 14 points, finishing in the paint, pick and rolls, off the doubles on Steph, taking advantage, being aggressive in those spots. And Draymond Green, what can you say about the guy? Listen, you look at his numbers in this game, they're not anything to go crazy about. They never are. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Triple singles, Charles Barkley would like to say. But the guy is a defensive specimen when it comes to guarding 1 through 5, and he has not shut down Şengün, but he has made Şengün 70% of the player that he normally is. He feels like every time that Şengün takes those one-handed, like kind of floater shots, mid-post, nothing. Draymond's got a hand in his face. Draymond is bringing it from a physicality standpoint. And this is what I said about this series coming in. And listen, I think the Warriors can probably win if Jimmy doesn't play another game. If Jimmy comes back, the series is a wrap. But the thing I said about this series after game 1 is that if this is a spot where both Golden State and Houston are great offensive teams, if they cancel each other out on the defensive end, the Golden State Warriors are going to win this series comfortably because from an offense perspective, Steph's going to be Steph. And by the way, speaking of that, do you remember after that game, I think it was, what was it, April 6th? That was 3 weeks ago. Feels like an eternity ago because the playoffs feels like a different sport almost. Remember that game, April 6th? Steph Curry scores 3 points against the Rockets, 1 of 10 from the field. And the narrative coming into the series is, oh, man. And Ime Udoka even referenced it. He said, listen, when you get guys frustrating, you got them. Okay. So I mentioned, I talked about last Monday about the Curry stopper narrative is like the tabloid magazine of the NBA. I think Ime Udoka being a great defensive coach, particularly against Steph Curry, is the biggest tabloid magazine in the National Basketball Association. Let's look at Steph Curry's postseason numbers. So again, Ime Udoka, great defensive coach, man. He's got the answers to stop Steph. Can we show Steph Curry's numbers in the postseason in the 22 finals, and then now when Ime Udoka was the coach of the Celtics, now the Rockets? What Steph Curry does? He's basically unstoppable. 30 points on, by the way, almost 50% shooting by a 6'3" guard, 44% from three, which is amazing even for Steph, 88 from the line, which is actually down for Steph, but it gives you 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and the Golden State Warriors are 6-3 in those games. So listen, I'm sure Ime will certainly have the answers tonight. He's literally never had the answers to stop Steph. I think Steph has had, in the 9 games he's played an Ime Udoka-coached team in the playoffs, I'm doing this off the top of my head now, only 3 of those games has Steph not scored 30 points, and in one of those he scored 29. So let's bump up a point and say 7 of those 9 Steph has scored 30. So it's just the narrative coming out, oh, Ime's going to rough Steph up. Yeah, it's real. I can tell. He gives you 31 and hits some circus shots in game 1, has a tough game 2, or not really a tough game 2. He had 20. And then in game 3, he goes berserk, gives you 36, 9, and 7 without Jimmy Butler, without a guy. Because that's what Jimmy is so dangerous, is when you double Steph, oh, now Jimmy's going to kill you in the playoffs. Didn't even have, and still torched you for 2.5 quarters. So Ime Udoka, hold this. And by the way, Jalen Green, hold this. So first of all, can we talk about this? Because I feel like it's not getting enough play right now. Jalen Green is kind of I think the future in terms of being the best player on the Rockets in 2-3 years. That's no disrespect to Şengün, but I think Green has more upside to be that best player on a good playoff team, more so than Şengün. Can we show what Jalen Green has been for the last, basically 2.5 weeks? We can show you his numbers. He's been, by and large, bad. That's his roller coaster, his Jalen Green's roller coaster offense. That's kind of inaccurate. He's been bad except for 1 game. So this is Jalen Green's last 6 games for the podcast audience. 5.7 points, 2 points on 0 of 7 night, 7 points. He had 38 in game 2. Kudos. And then the other night he scores 9 points. And can we hear, because Jalen Green and Draymond Green got into a little bit of a, not a scuffle, but had a war of words, let's say, after the buzzer sounded. And hear what Jalen Green said about Draymond Green.
Yeah, it was just talking. He can't really do much of anything else, so talking his only way.
And he's in his head. Like clockwork. Like, it's Draymond against these young teams. This is part of the value he plays for the Warriors, is he's going to try. Do you remember, again, ironically, against an Ime Udoka-coached team? Maybe he needs to have his guys more dialed in. But Jaylen Brown, remember that game? Jaylen Brown's a great player who's matured. Not that he was immature, but as matured as a player, as a leader, all of it in the last few years since that 22 finals. But do you remember that game 2 of that series when Draymond Green was like, he was on the ground, was kind of like yanking at Jaylen Brown's jersey and just being an absolute pest, and the Celtics get mad, and Jaylen Brown had a comment like, basically, nobody scares me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yep, Draymond's in his head. Because if Draymond's on your head, you're like, okay, it's physical basketball. It is what it is. We move on. No, that's not. And Jaylen Brown, I think in 2025 probably wouldn't give you that answer, because he's a more seasoned player. He's a champion, Finals MVP, all of it. Jalen Green's not there yet. And so if Jalen Green could give you 30 tonight, or he could give you 7, like, he's just all over the place as a player. And this is why I thought Houston winning the series, there was little chance of it happening. The experience in Golden State, the defense, both defenses being great, cancel each other out. Warriors win easily when it comes to the offensive battle. And when it comes to coaching matchup, it's not remote. It's not even close. Kerr versus Udoka. I mean, it's the Grand Canyon. And so, and Kerr, by the way, Kerr's been great with his rotations of the series without Jimmy Butler and with a sick Pajimski. So Kerr's been great. By the way, I think he's now I think he passed somebody the other night in terms of career playoff wins. I forget who it was. I think it was it Larry Brown? I think it might have been Larry Brown. But listen, this was a great win for the Warriors. Take game 3. I think Jimmy's going to play tonight. I think the Warriors, I think it's going to be a close game. Houston's going to be desperate. But if I had to guess, I'd say 106 to 100 Golden State here in game 4 tonight in the Bay Area. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.